Get your man the flute to play song, the fuck.
Which everyone, Kajima Tashi, and welcome back to episode number 119 of the Inline G Flute podcast with me, your host, motherfucking Inline G. Lads, I promised you more guests. I promised you the best guests, and I have been true to my word. In another attempt to avoid paying for therapy, this week's Inline G is the beginning of a brand new mini-series focusing on the flute world's biggest content creators. What makes them tick? What do they learn from content creation? What challenges is there in the modern flute world? And what karaoke song would they sing? Episode 1 of that wee series is here right now, and we are straight in, no kissing with the big names. Because this week's guest, if you've spent more than 5 seconds on the internet and you play the flute, she doesn't need an introduction. You know who she is. But maybe you're not a flute player, in which case, she is perhaps the most friendly face on the internet with a flute to it. It is Cinci Baglyas. Now, Cinci talks about everything on this podcast, from her early days creating UGC to gaining over 75,000 followers. I'll say that again for the people in the back. 75,000 followers, to the real life implications of social media or social media fame, and the benefits of finding your own artistic voice. It's beautiful. It really is a great episode. I've been busting to have Cinci on for ages. I'm delighted I finally could. So enjoy the episode, lads. Now, before then, as a bit of housekeeping, I don't want to interrupt the podcast with this, so I'll do it now. If you're a regular listener, you know what to do. Skip ahead. If you're new to the Inline G podcast, just give me one more minute of your ears before I let you loose on that interview with Cinci. The Inline G podcast is free, and it will always be free. That is a motherfucking guarantee. However, if you wish to donate to the podcast, you can now do so through the Patreon. On the screen now is the address. For the audio listeners, it's patreon.com/the Inline G Flute podcast. The link's in the bio. I do everything around here on my own in this podcast, and we have had an episode every single Friday for 119 weeks. Come rain nor shine, you will get a podcast every single Friday. It is a monumental amount of work, and I love it. It is a real passion project. Sponsors are not on this podcast because they wish to control the content that I put out there and the themes I can talk about. They can go fuck themselves. This is the world's biggest flute podcast and is 100% listener funded. It is amazing. It is the definition of a small independent podcast. I do everything around here on my own, from audio production, video production, graphic design, script writing, you name it, I do it. So it's a lot of work. I love it. But if you can support me for my work as an artist, it is massively appreciated. So if you can afford to, sign up over there. It costs €5 a month. Lads, that's the price of a pint or a cup of coffee once a month, okay? You don't even have to sign up monthly. You can sign up for 1 month and cancel straight away if you just want to give me a one-off donation. With that, you're keeping the podcast alive. Without the patrons, this podcast would not be here anymore. Full stop. They're the reason why we keep going, because I can earn a little bit of money off this and have a little bit of income for all the work I do. So if you can afford to do it, please sign up. If you can't afford to do it because times are hard or you don't want to, it's fine, because you'll still get the same podcast as everyone else. It's a lovely system based on kindness and soundness. Thank you very much. So here is this week's Inline G Flute podcast with the one and most certainly the only Cinci Baglyas. Okay, so naturally we are going to come on to this topic because we have to talk about content creation. Because, this is my idea behind this isn't quite fully formed yet, but I wanted to do it quickly. I thought if I start, I'll do it. But I want to do like a mini series where I'm getting the top sort of flute content creators on. Mm-hmm. People who are the most popular, basically the top numbers. I haven't checked who the most popular are, but I think you're pretty high up there, because I checked this morning. You have like 31.4 thousand followers on Instagram, so you're doing all right. You're doing good.
Oh, I'm very happy for that.
The one person, I had Jill on last year, and one of the things I find really interesting when I've talked to people who are involved in content creation, there always seems to be like a breakthrough moment. There seems to be like one thing that happened where they go, okay, now I'm going to concentrate on this. There was one big thing that went viral maybe, or one specific thing. Was there one moment for you, or did you genuinely set out to go, no, I'm going to create content, I'm going to go slowly? Do you remember what your first thing was when you did content creation in the flute world? Do you remember what your first post was?
I don't exactly remember for the first video, but I know what kind of it was. It was a vlog. It was a vlog because I love lifestyle, and I personally also consume a lot of lifestyle content, especially on TikTok. I don't use Instagram, even though I post crazy much. I don't use it at all. I never took anyone's post, and no, only the stories. That's all.
Okay,
it's enough. Trust me. It's enough with Woodify, with my no.
Oh yeah,
only
true.
TikTok. Only TikTok. TikTok is my
TikTok's class. TikTok's great.
Yes.
It's so
I really think it's actually very good, like for inspiration, if you use it on the right way, and I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I try at least. So my first post was okay, I try to make these as short as possible, but I always like
Go.
to talk about the details because I always think this makes a huge difference.
Go.
So in general, the first one before when I started doing this like series content creation in November or October, like this period, was a vlog when I went to teach, something like that. But already in that year, in 2023, I had like 3 videos in the whole year, so it's nothing, like to compare for
Okay.
today, and they were all vlogs because I really love lifestyle. As I said,
Yeah.
I really like aesthetics and to inspire other and inspire myself as well.
Yeah.
But so ever since I was 17 or 16, I always loved YouTube vlogs, like from other people,
Okay.
and I was always so sad and like that there is no content on classical musicians
Yeah.
doing lifestyle content, which would be exactly my thing to watch, to listen to be inspired and so
Mm-hmm.
on. So what I've done is actually I had 3 videos in 2019.
Okay.
I think they are already deleted. So it's like it was
Okay.
only for fun, nothing serious. Once we went to live ball with the school. We were there, the orchestra. Do you know
Okay.
live ball is the Vienna Pride? It's not the
Okay.
Vienna Pride, but it's a huge festival. Like
Okay.
Conchita was singing there and so on, whatever.
I love it.
Yes, so it was really huge, and this was my very first vlog, but it had like 20 views.
Okay, 20. Okay. And that, yeah.
Yes, so
And like 18
it
of them
was
were you
really,
probably checking. So
it was only for myself to
yeah.
have fun,
Yeah, but that's the best thing.
Yeah. So I had also, I think, another vlog in that year, like 6 months later,
Okay.
which was a competition. I went to Italy to a competition. I think it was Cimarosa or
Oh yeah.
one of them. That was the other one. So I, what I mean and what I want to say with that is that I always had the passion. I always had the ambition for that,
Okay.
but I never did this very seriously until I met UGC. Do you know what that is?
UTC.
Like I met with creators, I consumed content from them, from creators that makes a lot of UGC content, which means used generated content.
Okay.
It's advertising, but from people that are not professional.
Okay.
So it's more authentic for everyone
Consumers. So
basically,
yeah.
like for yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did my portfolio for that because I knew that I like doing videos and photos, but still at the time I was not doing any content creation. And then in November, I created this portfolio and I was like, you know what, let's just try to find some clients to do UGC content, which can be photo
Okay.
or video. And UGC means basically that I create content for someone and they just post it on their page. So it has nothing to
Okay.
do with me. It's not like influencing, it's literally used generated content, not generated content, yeah.
Okay.
And I found 4 immediately. It was crazy. I think they
Okay.
really like my portfolio because I did some example videos. Like you need to include a lot of things in the portfolio. It's like for solo, if you have a
Yeah.
solo, like you put everything in what can describe you a better way. And I got 4 immediately. And because I started doing videos again, I got inspired by myself and started to post and post. One at the
Okay.
very beginning, I was doing like in October, end of October, I did like 2 videos in a week. Then I did every second day. Then I started creating
Oh, this is
every
going to be a big
day.
thing as well. Yeah. I think what's also amazing about the younger generation is people who are growing up on social media, they're happy to go straight to it. They're happy to start posting videos of themselves online. If you talk to anyone over like my age and above, so anyone like over 30 who sort of grew up on the internet but not fully, the idea of posting online terrifies us. Posting our videos of us playing online, crippling anxiety at the idea of that. But the younger generation are just like, they don't even think about it. They're like, yeah, I'll just post a video of me sight reading. Like that would give me a panic attack 5 years ago to think of posting a video of me sight reading. I would have been like sight reading, but I would have practiced it for 4 days.
Well, I think this is something that I kind of touched people. I'm not sure, but this is the way I think that to be authentic as possible, on an aesthetical way, because I always made sure everything looks good and whatever,
Yeah.
you know, was something that people liked and
Yeah.
felt relatable. They were like, oh God, I had the same shit with that excerpt. I really feel you. Comment.
That's it.
The other
Yeah.
one, comment. Oh, let's send this to another friend. And they started reposting all this kind of videos. This is actually not the way I started having bio videos, whatever. But I think this was something that made my community the way it is today.
Okay.
That they saw that, okay, she's someone, she can play good, but still she posted even her shittiest day, because who cares? It's not gonna change the
But you
way I
don't get
play
that
today.
fear. You don't get that fear. Like, I think the fear most commonly among people is like, for me, what, for example, when I started posting was, oh shit, what if I post this? And then, even as I'm saying this out loud, I know this is stupid, but I was like, if I post this, what if I apply for an orchestra in 3 years' time and they go back through my social media 3 years ago and they watch that one video and they go, actually, he was shit 3 years ago. We're not hiring him. I realize that's stupid, but like, that's the fear. People are like, what if someone sees this? What if someone important sees this? You never had
Yes,
that fear?
I know the feeling, and I never felt this, but I always knew that it could happen. But I still said, like, you know, and I'm sorry, I hope I will not sound too arrogant, but if
Go.
someone from an IG 20-second, 40-second long video thinks about me from that she plays bad, then I'm sorry, this is your
Obviously,
stuff,
yeah.
not mine.
That's
Like,
not arrogant. That's common sense. That's, if you take away the
yeah.
insecurity and the anxiety about it, that's total common sense. Why would you? Because you think about it yourself. We don't judge people. I don't look at flute players on their Instagram reads and go, oh, they're a good player, they're not a good player. Honestly, most of the time I see a flute player, I watch like 10 seconds of it, I double tap and I move on to the next video and I forget about it for the rest of my life. So it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
because yeah, I do agree with you, but there are some people that I think, especially those who does a lot of auditions, that have the anxiety all the time, you know, and the
Yeah.
stress
And
and
the
the nerves
insecurity.
to. So I think I am. I kind of agree with, I kind of understand what they feel and
Yeah.
why they feel, but I didn't, because I said, like, for me,
That's great.
auditioning was never a thing, actually. Also, I don't know, for me, it was always solo, you know, and that's why I kind of feel
Interesting.
like, to put things out that are not good, I don't say that I want to do that new. I also prefer to post nice sound and nice whatever one. But still, if there's something which is which is even more funny, then I like
It's
that
real.
one more than the one that I played,
Yeah.
D minor concerto, perfect and fast, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like, if you are about that kind of content that someone plays perfect, come to my concert. But if you want to
Yeah.
have fun, and that's why we use social media, then watch my funny video.
That's 100% right.
Next
Plus,
month,
there
how
is
it's
also,
gonna
I
be.
don't know if you have this fear as well, but I have this a little bit where, like, I'd studied, I'd done all that, I played in orchestra, I'd done loads of concerts, but I posted nothing online. I never really give a shit about social media. I liked it for me, but I never posted online. Since the podcast, obviously, I've got like a little bit of a following, so people recognize me and they know me a little bit more. And then I can feel the judgment when they want to see me play, because there are people out there who are hoping I'm going to be shit. But then I make the kind of content that I know people don't like me. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like me. I don't really care. But they want me to be bad. And I know that. They're waiting for me to go like, oh yeah, he makes a podcast, but he can't really play. They're dying for that. Because you're more known, there's going to be more people that don't like you. Do you have that fear as well? They're like, oh, people recognize me now, and there's going to be people that don't like me from social media,
I
so they're
have
going to
so
hope I'm bad.
amazing stories for you that you have no idea about that.
Oh yeah?
I don't think they would want me to play bad, or this. I'm
There's
not
some...
going so deeply into those thoughts, but I have also fear, should I call this that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have. I would also think a little bit on, like, when I was playing at Cluj at the summer.
Yeah. But you think it would be less
Yeah.
nerve-wracking if you weren't if you weren't on social media, if people didn't know who you were, would it be easier?
I mean, playing would be the same, but the
Okay.
feeling to be there is would be easier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so too, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Now, you said you had
Because
some stories. Can you please tell me some stories?
yes, for sure.
Because I love stories. I love stories about these kind of things. I could probably relate to them as well. And I know we're all feeling the
Yes,
same.
you know, the problem with me, that I have this temperament. I don't say that I don't care what who think. No, I care, obviously, but I like being authentic. I like being
Yeah,
open, because,
me too,
like,
yeah.
life is so short, and just tell me what you think. You know, like, don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just get it out, man. Yeah, I totally agree. This is half the reason why I'm doing this little mini series. It's like, honestly, this podcast is like therapy for me. It's like free therapy. I can just talk to other people and be like, yeah, I get the answers from them and save a load of money. So tell me everything and then I'll feel better.
I kind of get that. So, it's actually, this story is not even so old. It's a few months old.
Go, tell me.
So there was a competition, and after the competition, we had the chance to play on some masterclasses.
Mm-hmm.
Still in frames of this competition. And yeah, I was already doing social media since a few years. So I kind of get, I don't know who recognizes me and who not. But I think some of them probably, you know,
probably.
Even though if they don't really know, maybe they recognize my face.
Yeah.
And I was playing on the masterclass, and actually the teacher, well, the teacher was, I still don't know what this teacher meant with the whole stuff that I got commented on.
Okay.
But so I was playing Mozart G major, actually, the first movement, because this teacher won competitions, you know, like obviously they played also Mozart. So I was like, why not to play that one? And yeah, I was playing, and then I got a lot of suggestions like, do that, try that way, blah blah. I was trying, and then said like, yeah, I think you should practice more with metronome.
Okay.
It's obvious, everyone, you know, like, and I was like, yeah, actually, I kind of do that, but maybe I do it on the wrong way, because there is wrong way to practice with metronome.
There definitely is. Yeah.
And then he was like, you know, on social media, no, sorry, he said like, you know, in today's world, it's very hard to think about this kind of stuff. I don't exactly remember how they said, but it was like, yeah, people kind of post videos in which they are playing good extremely fast, and then after that they are playing like that, and I'm like,
just say what you fucking think. Just tell me what you think. Excuse me, talking about me, are you?
I was like, no, because you know, I mean, I am way too sensitive. Like, you have no idea. I feel every single energy that you send to me, even though now through that.
Yeah.
And I felt this very, like, it was sent to me exactly personally.
Of course
but I
it
still
is.
was like,
of course it is.
But who knows? You know, I was still like, no, Cinci, calm down, because maybe you are overreacting. Again, just shut the fuck up and just relax.
I relate so heavy to this, by the way, but keep going.
And then a few minutes later, I got again some comments, do that. I was trying, you know. And then I also need to mention, I don't remember exactly the movements and the words he was using, but he was like taking his flute, and he was like, oh, you know what, let's just, and he started tapping on his flute. And obviously, it was because I think he was not able to say any more comments, even though we had still almost 10 minutes, you know, so actually there was still time. And it felt like, oh, what are you doing here? You know, like, just do your shit with the fucking ASMRs, what you always do. And you know, the thing is that I again understood this way. And I need to mention, in the audience, people are laughing. So I'm not the only one who understood that way,
of
you
course.
know?
No.
And I don't care that they were laughing, because it's not my, like, it will not describe me. It will describe the person, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like, I was, and actually one of my friends was even there at this masterclass, and I asked like, am I overreacting? Like, maybe I'm really so sensitive and it was not mentioned at all to me. And she was like, no, it was not mentioned to you, blah, blah, blah. But people were laughing in the audience. So I still don't know what that was. It's fine. I live in my beautiful world, so that's fine. I survived, as you can see.
I know, of course you did, yeah, because you're a strong person, and that's great, but I would crack up. Like, I would snap. I feel like that's one thing I've learned from social media as well, and learned from like podcasts and stuff, is it's not that I don't take criticism well. I don't mind criticism you tell to me, but you see that like passive aggressive thing that people do, especially in classical music, because of the power dynamics and stuff in it. I don't take that anymore. I spend way too much of my life going, excuse me, what the fuck did you say? I snap, I click. I do it all the time on social media. But I'm sure you get so many examples of like people sending you weird messages or rude things or blah, blah, blah. Like, and I see I love getting them. Like, I wake up
You are
and I think
loved.
every morning, please someone send something rude to me because I will eat them alive. I live for it. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you're talking? I love it. And yeah, it's dealing with that though is a different thing. It's hard not to take it personally. But when you build up that resilience, you can.
But also actually it like I also had other like small issues when I
Oh, I can
got
imagine.
comments on like I had a lesson actually, and then I got the comment like actually because I had some videos and I think they're already a year old or whatever, and I was playing on in these videos Tafan and Gobea. Just the scale, nothing else. It was completely an aesthetical video in which I just
Yeah.
play a C major or whatever scale fast. I
Yeah.
was not sharing any advice. I was not sharing it. It just had a good hook always at the very
Yeah.
beginning, and
Yeah.
that's why I had video. I had a lot of views and a lot of engagement on that. But
Yeah.
like, even if I would have played bad the scales, I encourage people to play fucking Tafan Guben and play scales.
Yeah.
And who cares how I played? And
Yeah.
actually, I was not playing bad though. I mean, it's a C major skill.
I know.
Where can you play on that? Whatever. And then I got comments like, actually from persons like personally like, oh, what does this bring? What does this video bring to you? Like, it has not no sense. And what was more? Also like, we all know who are your fans. Those 15, 16 years old. And I'm like, okay, they are the next generation, so it's kind of good.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
like
just, man,
what?
yeah, we all know who your 200,000 fans are. Like, yeah, I don't care who they are.
Like
There's
it's
200,000 of them. Go.
and I even don't. I mean, it's something like why is it so important? I play the flute, that's
Exactly.
all. You know,
Exactly.
like leave me alone.
Exactly. It's insecurity. It really is. And I'm sure you have a deal with a lot of it. Like, I think that's one thing I do want to talk with the general or the, all the content creators I'm bringing on is the other side of it, like the more difficult side, because there is a lot of weird people on the internet and there's a lot of rude people. And I also find within the flute community, which is such a small place, it's such a niche world, we shouldn't be bringing each other down because there's not enough of us to really afford to be able to do that. Like the flute's a pretty niche instrument. Okay, so that's not maybe a challenge, but one challenge I do want to talk to you specifically about because you have expressed it on your page, and I think it's something we should talk about, especially with social media. We've talked about how much you work, how much you do 3 to 5 times a day at one point. Burnout. Surely that must be something that you've been wary of because, like, see if I'm making five videos a day and I'm working a full-time job and I'm studying as well, I would be burnt out within like a month. So what are your experiences? You've posted about this a little bit before, so I want to know a little bit more about it, if that's okay.
Do you mean like my experience on being so active, or like in general my life, or
I
like
mean
what
just about
specifically you want to hear?
specifically about like how social media burnout and creative burnout can happen and what happens to you when you have creative burnout, because I've noticed you talked about it, but you never stop posting. You keep going anyway.
Yes,
So,
of course. Of
but
course.
that's not of course to me. There's no of course to me there. If I'm burnt out, I'm like, the phone's going at the fucking bin. I'm done.
Uh, it's actually not such a huge story, I think, or maybe because it's my attitude. Like I'm coming from this culture. Like you cannot feel yourself bad. Okay,
Okay.
there's no
Okay.
way. Okay, no. You
Yeah.
work until you.
Die.
Yes, yes. And I get this attitude, and I love that. I mean, I'm really into working a lot, and with hours, with whatever. I mean, it's always different, because now I had this festival, for example, at the weekend. It was crazy, but sometimes I have less work. But about the burnout, it was not a specific period, but so when I started doing this whole thing, I posted a lot of things, and it had not even in the near
Yeah.
of today's quality and value what I bring, and had way better engagement and way better numbers and everything. And I'm pretty sure it's probably because Instagram algorithm also changed a lot, and also on
Mm.
TikTok, and it still does.
Yeah.
But such a huge change I noticed first last year, and I also talked about that with a lot of other creators, also flutists and not flutists.
Okay.
So I was kind of happy that I'm not the only one, because that means that I'm not doing something only me that
Wrong.
is
Yeah.
specifically wrong. But still, it was happening. For example, like, yeah, I still posted every day once. I mean, since last April, 24 April,
Yeah.
I only post once a day, also on TikTok. I mean,
I mean,
sometimes post more, but once it's a must at least. And so I still created the content, and I think in July or August I felt for the first time that I see that I don't get that kind of engagement I used to have. And you have no idea what kind of adrenaline that is.
it's
When I
addictive. Yeah.
woke up and I had 1,500 followers more from one day to the next one, and I was like, I mean, I don't today I don't check this anymore.
Oh,
I
really?
still see the numbers, but I'm not. Yeah, I check it. Obviously, I do the analyzing stuff, but not so deeply as I used to. Exactly
Okay.
because of this story that I just saw. I was like, oh God, it was like winning the lottery,
Yeah.
lotto.
Yeah. The
You know,
lottery. Yeah.
like yes, it was like I was like, what happened? And I checked the video that got viral. Guess which one was that?
I is it an ASMR one?
Of course, the shittiest that has nothing to do with value had the most views and brought me the most followers in
See,
one day. I was like, and the videos
also,
I
sorry, can I
practiced.
say, by the way, just quickly, see those videos you do where you're playing the tune and you're just clicking the keys? Those videos there, that is a fucking brilliant idea. And the only thing I don't like about it is I wish I thought of that first. That was a brilliant idea. When I saw those videos, I was like, that is bang on. Because I love those videos. I fucking love them. There's something about them that's so calming and so sweet. I love them. And I thought, I cannot believe I thought of that. It's brilliant.
Actually, I get a lot of messages on that, especially because of the ASMRs. But I have a good story on the ASMR. Please remind me later.
I will.
So, yeah, so I had days when I had a lot of new followers, a lot of new stuff, and a lot of comments, likes, whatever. And then in July, August, it started going down.
Okay.
Although my content became better and better and better, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what Instagram thinks because I know it just got better and better, you know? And even though if I will never get any new things or better engagement, I am going to still do my own way because I
Okay.
want to do my personal brand, not what Instagram wants from me.
Yeah.
So then suddenly I started losing engagement. I also started losing some followers, I noticed, but not too much, you know? And it was like, what is going on? And it started in last August.
Okay.
It was holding until this May. A lot
Okay.
of months. I was still growing. I was still growing.
Okay.
But I saw also at the same time how many followers I lost. I gained the double followers that I have now, but I
Yeah.
also lost so much in the
Yeah.
meantime, and I have no idea why. You know, I was doing
Okay.
a lot of research on that, like what am I doing so wrong? And as I said, I don't want to change my content
Yeah.
because I don't. It's me, you know, and it's. I mean,
Yeah.
small things is okay, or sometimes a little bit of setup and new ideas,
Yeah.
but the personal brand needs to stay. And so it was until April, and then actually in April, I had the first week since full 15 months that I was not posting for 3 days.
Wow. Okay.
Otherwise, every day there was no single day I missed.
That's
It's
that's insane. That is insane.
yes, it was really crazy, and I said like, you know what, fuck yourself, and I was just off for 3 days completely.
Yeah.
I also saw that actually it might
3 days,
also
nothing.
help a little bit.
3 days is
Yes, but also
nothing.
I didn't post any stories, nothing. It
For
was
three
really
days, I do that
completely.
all the time. 3 days is nothing. I can lie in bed for three
Yeah, but
days.
yeah, but for me suddenly,
I know, this is why you're good at it. Last weekend, I got a new PlayStation game. Nobody saw me for 3 fucking days. I just called off work for 3 days because of a PlayStation game.
but also your Instagram is used to that. Mine was not.
True, okay. Plus, yeah.
Yes, and also my followers not. And I felt so messy. I felt suddenly like, oh, I'm so free. And fuck you. I don't need to do any videos which no one's going to watch. And yeah. So I had that time, and I even reached out to Instagram. I also wanted to talk about that. I reached out because I have also this
Okay.
meta sign, you know,
Yeah.
and then you have more support actually. That's the only reason why I have that.
That's the only reason to get it, yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, and So they told me, and listen now, that I was shadow banned for so many months. I mean, there is not such a thing as shadow banned. They call it different, okay? But
Yeah.
it's actually shadow banned. So I was shadow banned because I had some videos in which I was doing karaoke. I
Uh-huh.
was playing on it, and it has copyrighted
Oh, fuck off, man.
copyright. And I was like, excuse me? I mean, I was not making
Oh.
money off that, because usually copyright is for things
Yeah,
when you want
it
to use
is.
for advertising or whatever. It was only for fun. For example, I had one video I was playing Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, like one orchestral excerpt,
Yep.
and I was side reading the solos. And I
Okay.
was using very, very silent, actually, under my playing the actual orchestra
Yep.
recording from YouTube. And this got, for example, this reported, okay? And then you get actually this notification from Instagram, and
Yeah.
you can kind of assume,
Yep.
yeah, you can do that, and I did,
Oh,
and
like to
it was
challenge
it.
it. We can like say, sorry, I don't agree with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
like you can report your report,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then you can write them a comment, like, and I did
Yeah.
that
You say
all
like
the time.
you say something like,
Yes,
did
that
you
I'm
think we
just
got this
playing
wrong?
something.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 and I always won.
Oh, really?
Always. But yes, but still, because they saw it's not something like, yeah. But still, at the end, Instagram always noticed those, because I had at least one video like that every week. So it noticed, and it started
Oh, they
putting me
kept coming back.
down, literally. And I had so much work. And I remember I had really already headaches sometimes, that I just post out the video, because I always knew it's not for tomorrow, it's for my future after
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
So I fucking don't care what the Instagram said, but it still fucked me up. I'm telling you,
Yeah. Of
like, I
course.
was really so down. And also Instagram did not want to help me. They were like, yeah, it's gonna be gone in 3 months. And I'm like,
I know. It's
excuse
3 months,
me.
man.
Like,
That's wild. I'm surprised you got a reply from them though. That's really good because normally they don't reply to anybody.
yeah, but if you have the meta thing, and if
Yeah.
you, then actually they are faster. I never had with that problem.
I I had a one issue, but this is way back when I started the podcast where I got shadow banned, but I got like a notification about it. Like I had an account, like I had a
Uh-huh.
flag on my account saying it wasn't going to be shown for outside my page and outside my followers and blah blah blah. I wasn't verified at this point, and okay, the reason was I did contact them and I got a reply ages afterwards, and they told me the story. What like I put up a story and they were like, "That's the problem. We're going to have to do it flat in your ban for." They didn't say how long for, but I googled it and they were like, "It's going to be about 6 months." To be fair, it was a story where I put up a picture of like I was working in a school and someone, this is my problem, okay? This is why I'm too Irish for this. I cannot be in the internet, okay? But someone had put up a picture of like for all the teachers in the teachers' room where like someone wasn't washing their coffee cups after they used them or they were leaving them out, and they'd written a poem to all the staff members to tell them to wash their coffee cups. They writ a poem. So I took a picture of this, I put it in my Instagram story, and it says something like, I will burn this school to the fucking ground. And then I got reported for terrorism. And I was told you're getting banned for 6 months because you made terror threats against a school. And I'm like, man, I didn't make terror threats against a school. I threatened that one person. And then there was one day where I made a story saying, nah. Anyway, I made a few stories. Like I made a story once because I saw someone walking by Rewe, the supermarket, in their bare feet. And I made a story saying, the day I become president of Germany, I'm gonna make it illegal to walk about in your bare feet, and the punishment will be death by firing squad. And then Instagram again was like, Gareth, that's terrorism. I'm like, it's not terrorism. I know terrorism. I'm from Belfast. I know terrorism, but it's fickle. And like, see those shadow bans for a couple of months, that can kill your account. You can be done with that.
Yes, totally. But I love this story. It's like, I
Yeah.
think this is actually your face. Like this, to be so authentic and so honest.
I can't control
Very
myself.
funny.
It's the worst thing. And you're not allowed to swear on Instagram anymore either. So every time, I don't know what you do with swear in your content either, but when I have to put like a swear word on my Instagram, I have to put like the F, and then I have to screenshot the story and then put it back up and then add the UCK to make sure that the algorithm doesn't put it up, and then I can swear all I want. I found the way around it. So there is ways around. You can swear
Thanks
if you
for the
want.
advice, but that's
Yeah,
crazy
but
still.
don't do it. Don't risk swearing because Instagram's getting strict. Instagram are getting strict, man.
Yeah.
They're really getting. But anyway, yeah, that
I
is a
mean,
great
I got
story.
shadow banned for playing Prokofiev and
Yeah,
Tchaikovsky
that's much
things,
better
you
than
know?
my story, man. That's much better. That's artistic and creative. But it's so what happened after that then? You just picked it up and that it was all okay afterwards?
Yes, it started. I started noticing that it's always a little tiny bit better every day, but it
Okay.
took forever, and it's still not the same as it used to be, but it's good.
It's very,
I'm not
yeah.
complaining. It's good, you know, it's still good. But I was really like, I don't know, putting out some videos, got 300,000 views from,
Okay.
I mean, it was a good video, and I was working on that a lot, and it had value and everything.
Okay.
Today I also do this kind of, and it doesn't bring the same things. And
Okay.
I'm okay with that. In case someone thinks that I'm so complaining, like, oh, poor influencer, no, it's fine. I'm just telling you, like, I all the time do my the analyzing stuff. You can
Yeah,
also
but you
use
have
that
to. That's your
in
job. Like
Instagram.
that's what we do.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what your job is.
So,
So yeah, you would do it with any other
but
job. You have
it's,
to analyze how you can get better.
yes, but actually, like Demi Lovato, she also, I really like her, and she had some periods, whatever, like that,
Yeah.
and also a little better ones. And then once she brought out a very rock and roll album, I think 2 years ago, this 29.
Mm-hmm.
And actually she was talking about that, like she knows that it's not gonna make a lot of money and a lot of sales, but she doesn't care because this is her face, and she doesn't care anymore what the managers and the producers
Yeah.
says, because this is her face. And she was getting sick because all the time everyone said to her, like, what kind of music you need to do. And I also had this kind of feeling with Instagram, like they want me to, because also in the period when I was shadow banned, I had still some viral videos, but not the way and not so often that it used to be.
Yeah.
And I saw which kind of videos they are, and I don't want to do them all the time.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a research on, like, is it really that? And yes, it was really that.
Okay.
So I'm very specific when it comes into content and my
But that's
personal brand,
great.
because I think it is very important
But
to
that's one of the
stay in the
big
niche.
benefits. It is, because that's something that you learn as a musician and as an artist in general, is finding your artistic voice and sticking to it.
Yeah,
That's not a skill that's just for social media. That's for all artists. It's artistic authenticity, essentially. And the minute you start creating content or creating art in any kind of form for the audience and not for yourself, it loses its authenticity. The really best
yeah,
way to make art is create it for yourself and hope that people enjoy it, maybe adapt it and swing with it. But this is again why I'm quite shocked that, not shocked, but I'm disappointed that professional flute players or other musicians would bring you down for that or judge you for that, because that's what all artists do. All artists create their content for themselves with their voice and hope that it resonates with someone. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you start making content for the audience, you're not making it for you anymore. You're making manufactured content then. It's not the same thing. So you can learn those skills as a social media influencer or content creator.
yes. I mean, I kind of, I do not agree with them, but I know why they react. Also, the story what I told you about this masterclass, I know exactly what they think. As also you said,
Yeah.
like, they're working a lot, hard work, putting into years, and then there's a girl who just start posting ASMR videos and gets viral.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with that. It's not especially on the video type, because I think it has also something with my whole personal brand content,
Yeah.
because I'm not really sure, but maybe someone someone else would have posted those videos. Maybe it does not get viral. Who knows? Like, you never know how these things
You
work.
don't. You don't.
And that's why I'm like you also had the chance. I also have the chance to be like you, but I don't want to.
Yeah. And also the idea that they're working that hard, like, okay, don't get me wrong, obviously great flute players and great orchestral players do work very hard to get where they are, but people work as hard in other industries. And I know, by the way, I've said this so many times in the podcast before, the really top players, they don't work that fucking hard anymore. They've done the hard work. They just turn up to work and enjoy it now. I know they do. Like, a lot of them don't
Yeah,
work that hard anymore. They did work really hard, and it's incredible what they did, but it's not like they're working harder than everybody else. Loads of people work hard. Working hard is not something to be, it's not like you don't get an award for working hard. We all work hard. Bin men work hard. Teachers work hard. We all work hard. Don't take moral high
yeah.
ground because you work hard. They're lazy as well. Sometimes I've seen them. But okay, one thing I have to ask you quickly before we go into there was loads of stuff I wanted to ask, but we talked a lot, but I love it. Okay, because I'm going to need to get this right for the future interviews I'm doing this week. Influencer or content creator? What do I say?
Influencer.
Okay, why? What's the difference? Why do people get offended when I say influencer sometimes?
I have no idea. For me, influencer means influencing, to influence someone.
Yeah.
Means is that you just a minute. Bitte, kannst du mal das bitte ausschalten?
The way I can cut this.
Sorry, my husband. I think he doesn't know that we do the podcast. Okay, sorry. So I'm back.
Go.
So to influence someone means that you kind of make them want to do the same thing what you do.
Okay.
I encourage people to play the flute. I try to inspire them to see the flute world a little different.
Yeah.
And if that means in English to be an influencer, then I'm an influencer. Who cares?
Then good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Content creator. I'm a content creator as well, but it's something that lately I became a little bit I feel a little uncomfortable about that. It's not it I am also a content creator because I work for many companies and so on. But lately I have kind of the feeling like people start to recognize me more as someone who has good eyes for videos and photos and has a huge community than a flute player.
Okay.
Because it lately happens a lot, you know, like, oh, can we work with you together? We send you that, or like you come here and then you just do some photos and then get, and I'm like, yeah, sure, like, yeah, it's always very different, but let's say it's an orchestra, okay? Never, it did not happen with me, but let's say it's an orchestra. They call me to, like, they want to get more engagement on their social media, especially Instagram, and they hire me to be there and be their press house because this is what I lately do a lot. And I'm like, yes, sure. What's your vision? What do you want to do? And yeah, like, we actually can imagine like that you come with a camera and that you just make this kind of interviews and that you make the that I kind of videograph them or photo them. And I'm like, oh, that's not really my job. It's, I need to be on the frame.
Yeah.
It's funny to say, you know, but it's like,
yeah.
Like, if you want to have someone, if you want to have nice videos, then hire someone, you know, that's
Hire a videographer or a
I,
photographer, yeah.
Yes. And I mean, I can do that as well, you know, like if someone asks me, okay, let's do that. But otherwise, I need to be careful with those kind of stuff, not to, because right now this is my flutist me, like influencer, flutist, whatever you call it, and this is my content creator. And it got now a little higher, especially since NFA. Since NFA, I get a lot of messages on everything, you know. Yes, and I'm like, okay, I need to bring that also high because this is my profile. This is how this whole thing started. It's not about having the cameras and having a good photo or video about you. Like, if you want to do that, just hire a photographer, then it's fine. But yeah, so yeah, that's my question. So but otherwise, I want to be called a flutist.
Okay, yeah, well, that's the other issue as well. But this is the modern flutist, so this is the modern game. We have to be able to adapt because the old traditional route of how we create music and how we sell art and how we interact with audiences, that's gone. You have to be flexible in the modern world. I think the idea of getting a job in an orchestra and coming out and that's it, or having a steady solo career, these things are difficult, and to make an income off these in the modern age is really hard. So we have to diversify. We have to get out there, and social media is one of the ways we do it. And it's nice because when you do these things, you'd be amazed what doors open up. Like, I find, I'm sure, like, even you're saying that, this podcast has got me so much work outside of the podcast just because it's something out there that's got, it's opened doors that let me down past and I never thought I'd go down.
Exactly.
Like, my recent orchestral work has all came because of this podcast. My teaching work has came because of this podcast. People have found me and went, oh, you know him, and then you know him, and then one thing leads to another. So I always encourage people to just do as much shit as they can in the modern world. Just give it a go and get out there. Also, I do have the fun questions I want to ask you, but even quickly before that, really, really quickly, Woodify. I want to talk a little bit about them because you're working with Woodify now. You're involved with Woodify?
Let's talk. I do work with the Woodify, yeah.
Okay. I just want to ask you quickly about them, how that came about, first of all.
Well, I mentioned that at the very beginning, I had 4 clients. The 4th one was Woodify.
Okay. Okay. The reason okay. Both of us, sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt because I have to say this quickly. And you've seen my podcast, so you know this. I haven't tried Woodify yet. Okay, so I haven't got my hands on one yet. I really want to. And the guy that runs it, I think his name is Alessandro. Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. He did offer to send me some, I think, but we never got around to doing it. I want to do it. But I have said I am skeptical of it, but I'm not. What I want to make sure, the thing I'm skeptical about is the other kind of Flute gadgets and things that go on. I always felt a little bit suspicious that everybody involved with these like gadgets and people who promote them and stuff are just getting paid to say it. I've suspected that for years. I don't think that's the case with Woodify, but I think a lot of my followers think that too. So can you talk to us about Woodify and maybe assure people that you're not just getting paid to say something you don't believe, you actually believe the product works and stuff like that?
I do get paid from Woodify,
Yeah, but you're
but
not.
not to say that they are good.
Yeah, you're not getting paid and you
So
don't believe. It's not like it's not snake oil essentially. I think that's a lot of people's
yes.
fear is that they just these companies pop up every couple of years. And I'm not comparing again. I don't know anything about them, but they pop up, especially in America. They'll pop up. They'll have a load of money. They'll sell a load of things, and then they'll disappear. And we're like, where did they go?
Well, actually, Woodify, all content what you see online is not ad. I mean, the ones that I'm in the video or like that on Facebook or on Instagram ads that are 99% ad videos, but otherwise from creators that they
Yeah,
post, um, it's organic content. So
yeah,
if they would say no, it's bad. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure Alessandro would be very mad, like, oh God, like, but it's just a small accessory, you know, like if you
yeah,
don't like, you don't use. It's something like you also don't need to buy an extra camera because you have your phone, but why not
yeah.
to get a better one? Not better one, but something
Different.
to use differently, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm completely honest, Woodify does work.
Okay.
It's just something that gives you a little spice. It does not mean that makes you a better flutist.
Better.
It does
Yeah.
not mean that you're gonna have a better sound. Not at all. It's just a little upgrade for your flute.
Okay.
And it's scientifically actually it's also proven that when you put the ring on, because I mean the main product from Woodify is the sound ring
Yes. Yeah.
for the C flute. If you put it on, your resistance is gonna be way stronger,
Okay.
which many people hate,
Okay.
especially when you put
Okay.
it on gold. Gold is like wow, like
It's so
that, and
yeah.
as soon as you put the ring on it, it's
It
like
tightens up then.
wow,
Okay.
like you know. And I personally use it if I use the rings because I also don't play in concert and so on with the ring. But for me, for recordings is good.
Okay. Interesting.
Especially because of the projection and everything, you know, especially when you work with different kind of microphones and so on. But to
Interesting.
answer your question, how I came to Woodify is it was my
From one
fourth
of the clients.
client
Okay.
actually. Yes, and it's very funny actually because I was I was just posting my basic videos and I had like 1,000 followers or not
Yeah.
at this time already 3,000 I think. And in December, end of December, and I was like, you know what? I will just ask if they would like to get some UGC content. I didn't want to post it on
Yeah.
my page. And I reached out, and Jaume is one of our other colleague actually who is doing also the collaborations. And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, we'll send you one ring and you're gonna try it out. Uh, and I was like, okay, let's see if it really works. So then I got first the sharing because it has already 6 rings for the flute, like with
Okay.
different kind of woods. And I tried it, and it was bigger, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool," you know. And then I was doing some, especially because the main part where you feel the difference for me, I'm talking about my personal experience, was always when I played double tongue. Obviously,
Okay.
double tongue is with the projection is like always very a
Yeah. Yeah.
mess, you know. So I did for them 2 videos, and then Alessandro, actually, it was in end of January, beginning of February, reached out like, "Can I talk to you? Like, can we just talk on the phone?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And he actually asked me to be his manager for content
Okay. And that's
after
that.
3 months because he was like, "I see the vision in you, I see the ambition, everything, and I really
Cool.
like the way
Okay.
how you work. So could you be in?" And I was like, I never thought that, and I never studied anything about marketing, photography, videography, anything. Anything I do is from my own
Yeah.
knowledge, what I
Experience. Yeah.
learned from tutorials and so on. And I was like, sure. But I'm telling you that 6 months was crazy with content creation. Like, if you don't mind that I tell you
Go.
this story, because I think this can be actually very inspiring for some people. At least it would have been for me 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it was crazy. Like I started doing this whole stuff. After 3 months, I got into with to work with Woodify fixed every month, you know, together.
Yeah.
And then after it got fixed that I'm gonna be the manager there, 3 weeks later, I get an email, okay? Says like, we really like your content, like the typical shit spam, you know?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they start saying like, yeah, we would like to promote a little bit more Eastern Turkey. Ara is the city my husband is coming from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I'm sure that's a spam. That's a spam. And then I'm
I see what
reading
you're
like,
talking about.
we need a flute player. And it was my first huge influencer deal.
I remember these videos actually. Yeah, no, you're saying I
Yes,
remember them.
with Go Turkey, you know, and
Yeah.
it was, and actually you asked me at the beginning and I didn't even answer. What was the point in which I felt this is what I want to do?
Okay, that's insane though.
After this trip, I was like, it was really one of my best trips ever. Like all the influencers, only
That looked
people like
incredible,
me,
yeah.
but they were huge with 400,000 followers, you know, and
Yeah,
they
I
were all
saw
doing
this.
only travel content. So it
Yeah.
was crazy, you know, and I was like, God, how
It is
it's like,
cool.
and it's also, you know what is very funny? I think this is actually the most craziest thing what ever happened to me is that actually before that in December, so everything restarted doing in my life, content creation, the school I started working in, even though I know it's gonna be ended in like 2 months. I saw Tampere's Flute Fest.
Yeah.
That I think this was their second or third
Mm-hmm.
edition. They always have these competitions, you know.
Yep.
And I didn't have any competition. I didn't practice for years already because it was
Yeah.
in 2023. I did my graduation in 2021, and since that I didn't practice. I was just playing for fun. And somehow I felt something inside, you know, like always listen to your inner voice. And I felt like
Wow.
I need to apply for that. I did. I learned the pieces in 5 days, everything, and I didn't get into. Okay, wait. And
Okay.
then what if I happened and go Turkey and I had also a lot of things before that, but the main things were this. And then suddenly in June, Beatrice, who is the director of
Mm-hmm.
Tampere, reached out to me like, we would like to do a summer series, summer challenge. It was last summer. And we thought on you to start a whole thing like that you would like to be, you would be kind of like not our face, but like someone who represents us
Yeah.
online and to get a little engagement from them. And
See,
I'm like, excuse me?
this is the perfect
Like,
example.
like I found the perfect way to find my inner voice, but it was not
Exactly.
through auditions. It was not. I was still working hard and I was still practicing because
Yeah.
at this time I already decided to do a master studies again, so I started practicing again, whatever. But still, I was like, okay, this is finally the time I really see that this whole thing, being an influencer, pays off.
It
Finally.
does. Yeah. And again, you never know where it's going to come from. It can come in the most unexpected places. Okay, so the end of the podcast, I'll do the fun questions. I ask every guest these. They're semi-rapid fire. Don't panic about it, but we'll try to get them as quick as we can. Okay?
Okay.
So, first
Okay.
question. Do you have a favorite flute concerto?
Hachadurian concerto.
The Cacciaturian. Okay. Don't get
Yes,
that one
of
very often.
course.
Yeah, okay. It is a great concerto. Yeah, okay. Good answer.
Yeah.
I'm glad thank you for sticking to an answer and not giving the, I don't know. Thank you for picking an answer. I love it. Do you remember the first flute album that you bought or streamed even?
Well, no, I don't.
Okay.
But probably the ones I mostly listened were mostly from Sir James Galway because
There you
he
go.
is the one that had the most pieces on this. I really like
Yeah.
him, but it was not for the reason that he's my favorite, you know? But I
Just
like
because
him
he's the
still.
most common. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
90% of
Yeah,
people
the
have that
most
answer.
common.
It's
Yeah.
amazing as well that people have that answer. Like I've asked flute
Jasmine
players.
also.
Oh,
I
Jasmine
think
Choi, yeah.
it was either from Jasmine Choi or from Sir James Galway.
Jasmine's a very popular one as well. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But I still find it amazing that people would give that answer of Jimmy, even if they were born in the 70s, they'll say Jimmy Galway. And people who are like coming up now, young flute players, still say Jimmy Galway. His records have really lasted a long time. It's very impressive. But anyway.
Yeah, but I think because he has a lot of recordings, probably that's why.
Yeah, it's the most popular recordings, and that's how streaming works as well.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see. Do you remember the first album in general that you bought? So it could be any kind of music.
Actually don't.
No?
I don't remember. I really it's just something I listened so many things. I never had
Yeah.
one album that I listened to.
Oh,
But I
okay.
did listen a lot of but I don't know which album is this from Lieberman, you know, the piccolo concertos.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I also
yeah.
remember to listen a lot Cacciatorian concerto actually.
Okay.
I think that one was from Pahu,
Yep.
the Cacciatorian,
Yeah,
and
he
the
recorded that when he
Lieberman
was quite young,
piccolo
yeah.
concerto, and the other one was from Sir James Galway.
Okay. That's good as well then.
Yeah.
If you went to karaoke, what song would you sing? Have you done
Who is
karaoke?
the Not really much, but if I would, it would be something from Britney Spears for sure.
Ah, yeah, excellent. Which one? Like, because there's three big
Yeah,
options. There, Baby One More Time,
that one.
Toxic,
I'm pretty
or
sure.
yeah.
Not, or maybe Toxic.
Toxic's the best one.
I don't
Toxic's
know,
fucking
but
class.
something
That's great.
fun.
Yeah.
Something fun
Okay,
for
I
sure.
can see that. Yeah. If you could switch instruments, be as good as, but still be as good as you are on the flute, what would you switch to?
I was actually jazz singing, so probably that.
Singer. Okay, jazz singer. Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
If you could have, this is quite a weird one for you because you've sort of done this anyway, but if you could have a career that was nothing to do with music, what would you do?
It would be something in the TV, like media.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
obviously, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's,
Yes.
Yeah, we just spent an hour talking about that. Yeah.
Yes.
If you could have a drink with any musician, alive or dead, who would it be? So you can go to the pub with any musician you want for one night, chat to them all you want, have as many pints as you want.
I think more companies, well, Dave was a musician, but I think it would be either Rachmaninoff or Liszt.
Ooh. Liszt would be great. Liszt is a great one. I'd take Liszt. Rachmaninoff, I think, would be a bit boring. Sorry. I mean, his
Yeah,
music's great, but he's
Rachmaninoff
a
is
bit
too
boring.
rough sometimes. Liszt
Yeah.
can be also very romantic and
Liszt would be fun.
probably him.
Liszt
Yes,
would be
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great. No, like, oh, the Liszt is a good answer. Okay, and your very last question. What is your favorite drink? And it can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic or both, whatever you want.
I'm very passionate about coffee. And
Yeah.
it's such a basic answer, but it's crazy. I could not live without that.
And also Red Bull. I see you drinking a Red Bull today.
It's because if coffee is not bringing anymore, and I don't drink coffee to have energy, this is what brings me energy.
Do you
But
prefer Red
otherwise,
Bull sugar-free or Red Bull Zero? Because you can get both in Germany.
sugar-free.
Red Bull Zero I think is better, but whatever.
I
It's
don't
like the likely
really
one,
try
isn't
it. Only
It's
sugar-free are the one.
popping up now. So Red Bull Zero was
I
like
would
the original
try.
recipe. It's good. It's
I
good
would
stuff.
try.
Okay, coffee, and yeah, you can't beat that for an answer, I suppose. Then, thank you very much, Cinci. This has been amazing. I've got loads of content out of this, and the listeners are going to be delighted. Normally, this is the part where I plug social media and say where to find you and what to do, but like, that's the reason you're on this podcast. So I think people will know how to find you. But just in case they can't, where can they find you on Instagram, TikTok, etc., etc.?
I am mostly active on Instagram and TikTok, and my account name is my name, Cinci Baglyas, and I'm also on YouTube actually, and YouTube is I think my most authentic part, but I have zero
Interesting.
time for that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's a
have a
lot.
lot of vlogs. I also did vlogs on NFA. I also did vlogs
Yeah.
on the Cluj competition summer. So it's something that really gives you the better behind the scenes for your
Okay.
morning coffee,
Very
but
excellent.
it's not so active as the other ones. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have really time for that. Yeah.
Sure, everyone can go follow all three. Go follow everything. Go and
Yes,
enjoy
go
it.
follow everything.
Exactly, easy. Great. Well,
Yes.
thank you very much. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening and watching and doing whatever. And I will see you all soon. I'll say goodbye to everyone. I'll come chat to you a little bit off air.
Okay.
Guys, bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Get your man the flute to play song, the fuck.
Bien så crocky heart le druids. Powdered part